Okay, let's get started. Welcome to the session number 37 of Davos Experience in Tokyo. My name is Yoko Ishikura. I have been hosting this series over probably 3 years. So as you can tell, this is the 37th session, which means that it's over 3 years. How many of you had a very good week this week? Okay. How many of you had a very lousy week? Okay. I had a very lousy week, so that's why I asked. But anyway, I think the last time, how many of you were here last time? In April, when we had Casey Wall? Okay, quite a few. How many of you is the first timers? Oh, okay. There aren't that many this time. Usually we have about half of the people who are the first timers. But anyway, that's fine. So first timers, I hope that you will join and actively participate. The last one we had was before Golden Week, as I recall. And we talked about the entrepreneur and the ecosystem and things like that. I hope that you had a nice Golden Week, which seems like it's been years away. But anyway, so today we will be talking a little bit about the fourth place. Can you tell what the fourth place is? Okay. How many of you would know the third place? What's the third place?
Between your home and work.
Okay. Between home and work. Any specific names? Yeah, I think the Starbucks sort of, when they started, they said, well, this is the third place. The place between your work and your home. The third place that you can relax and you can be yourself and you can sort of unwind. So we have third place in town, and that's where I work quite often these days. But I think we may need the fourth place, and that's what we would like to talk about. If I say the third place, maybe Starbucks people may not like it, so I decided to call it the fourth place. And before we get into the fourth place, how many of you almost every day, go to the office in the very crowded train during rush hour? How many of you like it? Okay, I hate it too. So whenever I go, I have to go to the office because I'm a freelancer. I don't go to the office every day, but sometimes I have a meeting at 9 o'clock or whatever. I have to get onto the rush hour train, and every time I wonder why people do it. Because you need to be pushed in, and you waste or you spend so much energy and time just being pushed in. And they say things like, カバンを中に入れてください. So I said, I can always, this is ridiculous. But anyway, the cities have a lot of exciting aspects as well. You have cultural activities, the convenience stores are open 24 hours, more or less, and you can go to any place very easy. But if you go to Shibuya Station around 10 o'clock at night during the weekdays, it looks like that's someplace during the day. It's so packed, and you see so many people. And so even though the cities offer a lot of good things, exciting things, it's always pretty crowded, and it takes quite a while to get to any place, more or less. So you might want to go to some place where you can relax and be yourself. So the first question that I would like to ask you is, what is your fourth place? Think about the fourth place. It doesn't have to be some place per se. Where is the place where you can feel relaxed and you feel that you can unwind? Some of you may say, that's the office. Then you're in big trouble. I know some people don't want to go back home because they can't relax at home. But the first place, I would like to make it a little more fun. So think about the place where you can feel relaxed and unwind for probably 10 seconds. And now share your fourth place with a neighbor. Explain to your neighbor or in a group of 3 what's the fourth place is. Okay, so much for that. Any interesting fourth place that you heard? Any interesting fourth place that your partner tells you? Okay, tell us a little bit about that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, at the beginning, I didn't realize it's my fourth place.
Yeah.
But after listening to my partners speaking about her yoga routine, I realized for me, it's actually my bicycle ride to work, to and from work every day. It's about 30 minutes because I have to focus on riding and avoiding being hit by a car. So I can forget about work to the point that I got so addicted to it that, well, I started because I want to lose some weight, but now it's like, even though when it rains a little bit, well, not like today, but when it's a little bit less rainy, I will still keep biking.
I see. Great. Okay, so it doesn't have to be the place. I think that's the very interesting thing. Whatever activity or whatever the time that you can feel relaxed, I think that's what it is. Any other examples?
She said,
Okay.
literal. Please explain.
Yeah. Please.
To me, I live very far from here.
Yes.
Train is very important.
I see.
I don't like rush hours, but Tokyo Metro is preferable. I like Tokyo Metro better than JR. It's so good.
Okay.
Quiet.
Yeah. We'll tell the other people at Tokyo Metro that they have. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So how far do you ride? I mean, how long?
I don't take too long.
Mm-hmm.
The distance is not too long in Tokyo Metro.
Yeah.
But I live in Zaman City.
I see. Okay. Okay. Great.
It's important.
Okay, great. Anybody else? Any other interesting?
Can I just hear it, please?
Yeah.
Yes, first I think my fourth place is my parents' home. After the conversation with him, I realized my fourth place is gym. When I do exercise, I can't think any other thing.
I see.
I can't think work or private things. I just focusing on training.
I see.
My fourth place. Well, free from everything.
I see. Good. Okay. So this is a very interesting question. I think response. I didn't realize what kind of places that you come up with when I asked you about the fourth place. But after all, the fourth place is where you feel yourself and you feel relaxed. You almost, I think a couple of you mentioned, you forget about everything because you concentrate on what you do, which I think is a very good way of doing it, way of thinking about the fourth place. So probably that's something that you can think about. I don't know where would be my fourth place. I go away. I go overseas, and I essentially do nothing. So that's my fourth place in a way, and whether that's New York, which is another city, but it could be still the fourth place because I feel very relaxed. and I see a lot of different people. In New York, you can do anything. You can wear anything. You can be so crazy. And you can talk to yourself. So that's where I really relaxed. I can be anything, kind of. And also, I mean, triggered by some of you, like biking and the gym, I go to Aikido every weekend. And there, I think in a way it's my fourth place because I have to concentrate. And because I didn't start when I was a kid, I started Aikido after I become adult. You know, I become almost like a senior. So I really have to think before I can do. You know, the kids can learn, you know, not by thinking, but by doing. But because I have to figure out how do I do next, what's my next move, kind of thing. So I really need to concentrate, otherwise I get hurt. So that's where I forget about everything. The good thing about Aikido is you can throw people. So when you're so mad or when you're so frustrated, you can throw people, which I think is a very nice way of having the fourth place. I get thrown too, so I have to suffer, but I think that's something that you can think of. Okay, so much for that. Oh, by the way, has anybody read this? This is a very interesting book by Yukio Noguchi. I've been reading it now. And I just remember that he says he can talk into the iPhone or smartphone, and that translates into writing. And he said, well, because of this device, he can write anywhere. He can essentially put his thoughts together, and he does it while jogging, which I thought was very, very interesting. So that's, I mean, I'm not a salesperson of this person, but it's quite interesting because he says it completely transforms how you write, because you can just talk. I mean, talking is much, much easier than writing. And writing is quite a big hurdle. So if you can just write, if you can just speak, I think that is a very good, easy way to start writing. So much for that. So let me introduce a couple of people from Nanmoku village, and they'll explain what Nanmoku village, Nanmoku Mura is all about, and also what kind of activities they do. And I think that is one of the fourth places that we can sort of enjoy. And as you know, we have Chihosai Sose, so the local villages are really declining because everybody comes to the big cities. Tokyo is a big city, exciting, but there are so many people here. The same thing goes too with the cities. And so it becomes mega city. But if you go to the local places, you may be surprised how few people there are. And they tend to be very old. You don't see too many young people. And it seems like Nanmoku village is one of the typical examples of this local area. And so and we tend to say, well, we have to do something for them. And we have to sort of help them, you know, recover or regain or re-energize. But they have a very different concept about the local village. So let's find out what they have. And it's my great pleasure to introduce today's guest. First of all, Shio Nakamura, who is going to be explaining to us what the Nanmoku village is. And we also have Lisa. Yuka Hirasawa, sorry. And she is, they are from the Nanmoku village. And so let's listen to what they have to say. And then I'll ask you to think of some good ideas.
Thank you for the introduction. I'm Shio Nakamura, and maybe I need to correct one thing. We're not from Nanmoku village,
Okay.
but we're from Tokyo,
Yeah.
like you are. I'm a university student. They're workers, well, adults. But we go to this village, Nanmoku village, once a month. And yeah, we'll share to you what we do. first of all, about Nanmoku village. It is a village in Gunma Prefecture. Who has heard of this village? Just one person.
How do you hear? How come it's not that well known, right? Because you saw our announcement.
Sorry, that is my hometown.
Oh, it is? Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so you are from Nanmoku village.
No, sorry. Near.
Okay, but in that area. Okay, that's great. So we have a resident expert. Okay, great. Excellent.
Yes, and it's about a 2 hours drive from Tokyo. And it's not a very big village. It's about 118 square kilometers. And, well, there's 2 reasons why this village it's famous in a way. First of all, it has the highest percentage of aged people, that is over 65 years old. And another reason is that it was presented as the village with the highest possibility of disappearing. Yeah, so you probably think of it as a negative image. But what we want to share with you, first of all, this is a chart of the population. The population's only 25% of what it was 50 years ago. It's 2,000 people now. It used to be 8,000 people. And also the number of households, it dropped 40% as well. And right now, most of the people there are over 60 years old. And after this, we will share to you our concept, what we've been doing, and what we're planning to do in the future. So, well, this is in Japanese, but our concept is, well, the reasons that Nanmoku village was famous was because it was negative in words. But what we thought when we went there, when we started going there, visiting there, and talking to the people, seeing how they live, it was different. We thought that Nanmoku village had the true power to live. It was full of vitality, and they lived with the natural resource. They knew each other well. We probably don't know our neighbors, even our neighbors, when we're living in this same house for over 2 or 3 years. And they also know that enough is enough. They don't just go to hyakin whenever they need something. Yeah, and they're self-sufficient. So what we do is we don't go there to try to help them. We go there to learn from them. Learn another way of living that we don't know, that probably our ancestors used to know. So, what we've done, the first step that we've done was to make a house in the village. We reformed a house that was not used. And yeah, this is our house. So this is probably our 4th place now. And about 10 people go to the village once a month and stay there for the weekends and will work there, interact with the people, work a bit on the house, which used to be very shabby and old and full of garbage, and the floors were rotten. It was probably pretty horrible at first, but we remade it completely. And yeah, I think he's him.
I says it.
Yeah, and it was really tiring. This was in the summer, but what we were feeling was energy to sweat and have the direct sunlight and to feel the river. And we went into the river after we worked. And yeah, this is the carpenter. I was able to meet him as well, and it was really interesting. All his stories. He told us to look at the wood closely and to look from the side, to look from the top, and see how it's bending, or how moisty it is, or the wood is living, so you need to understand their elements in order to know where to use the woods. And that's probably something that a carpenter in Tokyo doesn't know, even though they're building these big skyscrapers and buildings. Yeah, so it was interesting how, like, even though he's making something that's, like, from nature, like, he's making something from nature, he's not making something completely new by, like, cements or... Oh, and this is one thing that we were able to try. It's generating energy from solar. That was because a member was interested in that kind of work. These are the people, yeah. So, as one-day villagers, what other things we do after we built the fourth place? We've done farming, and this man, he's a farmer. And what's interesting is that he was a businessman in Yokohama just 2 or 3 years ago. But, so like us, well, not me, but
This person?
yes, him.
Okay, yeah.
But he got tired of the way he was living. And maybe some of you are, maybe he'll be your role model. He got tired, so he chose to bike around Japan. And then he stopped in this village. Because he liked it. And he didn't have anything, he didn't have any money, he didn't have any tool with him, but he asked a villager that he wanted to live there. And the villager actually welcomed him. They lent him a place that no one was using anymore. And from there he started agriculture from that place. And now he even makes vegetables. He also has 2 goats. Maybe he doesn't anymore, but yeah. And now he welcomes us, and he teaches us to farm, and he also connects us with the villagers because he was able to connect with them and have them trust him. At first, probably some people thought that he was just playing around. It was one hobby that he would do, but he wanted to live that way. So that feeling that he had, the villagers were able to understand from his attitude. And we eat there, that's in the summer, using water from the river, I think. And this is farming. Oh, and they also make dried sweet potatoes. Hoshimo. Yeah. And we were able to help them. We'll actually learn from them. We were able to experience what they do. Like this. It's really sweet. And we also interact with the people. And here, it's a scene of us talking with the people there. We're explaining what we're doing. And the one thing that we're really trying to do, we're carefully trying to do, is to explain what we want to do to the villagers. And not to say that we're going to help you. It's that we want to have a chance to learn from you. And also, there are a lot of people that go there to interview them because it's famous for disappearing in a few years. But that it has the possibility of disappearing. But we try to make a long span relationship with them by talking to them and explaining to them and asking what we could do for them. And yeah, the things that I explained earlier is what we learned from them. These are some things that we were able to share with them oppositely, the other way. So this is a drone. It was a hobby of a member, and when he took it to take the beautiful scenery of Nanmoku village, children there were interested in it. And actually, there's one elementary school, one middle school there, and in the elementary school there's only about 25 people. And in the middle school there it's about 17 people. And there's no high school, so they have to go to another village. But what I was able to interact with them, and what I felt was not like a negative feeling for them as well. They were a team, they were a big family, and yeah, they wanted to share to us what's good about Nanmoku Village, and they wanted to share to it'll take a bit of time, but what I did in Nanmoku Village was I took foreign university students from Tokyo and a group of little kids, about 7 or 8 from Tokyo, to Nanmoku Village and had them experience farming, and also had them experience playing in the river and interacting with the children there and cooking with them. And what I thought was the difference in the energy. So, like the kids in Tokyo that I took, at first they're good kids. Whenever they want to say something, they raise their hands, and they don't like show their negative feelings towards us. They're good kids, but I didn't feel the energy in them. I couldn't understand like whether they're happy or whether they're sad. But when I went to Nanmoku Village, the kids there, they're full of energy, and they just go to the river whenever they see the water, they jump in, even with their clothes on sometimes, yeah. Or they weren't scared of the kids of Tokyo at all. They thought that they were just friends, yeah, simply friends. So it's this difference it's probably kids. There were a lot of those type of kids before I was born. But now, since...
When I was a kid.
But now even when we're kids, we go to Juku, we go to school, and then we have classes for piano, and it's like this routine, and we're taught to do the things planned, and yeah, and even kids use the train every day, crammed in there.
Right.
But it's different. They use their bike, or they walk, or run.
Were the kids from the city influenced by the kids in Nanmoku?
They couldn't explain it in words, but it seemed that they figured out to express themselves.
I see.
To just cry when they want, or they're really excited. It was like their summer vacation, but the kids in Nanmoku-mura, in a meeting, they seem to like look at them in a strange way because it's their normal life. So I probably thought that the kids in Nanmoku-mura, because of watching the kids in Tokyo having fun in the village, they were able to like be proud of their village even more.
I appreciate what they have.
And understand that that's not what other kids could experience.
Okay, great. Very nice story.
Yeah, and other things we were able to do. This is a free market in Tokyo, and we were able to have the vegetables of Nanmoku-mura be sold there. So that's a way of having them, having people in Tokyo know about Nanmoku-mura. Yeah, and we also had nabepa, using vegetables from Nanmoku-mura. So it's not like this kind of lecture that we do, more in a natural way, and just like having fun and like having them want to go with us in the weekends later. So. And then why we visit the village? It's to see these people, and after going there, we start to actually question if our lives right now are in a way correct or what we want it to be, and or to question whether we know what we're eating, or whether we can know the water that we're taking a shower with, or like these things. We start to question these things by going to this village where they're really close to nature and they're really close to what they eat, what they use. So now we want to share this, and we want to be able to have the people in the village like get to discover their own village's beauty, wonderfulness. So yeah, it's learning, but maybe by having them see us learning, maybe they'll be able to figure something else out, or maybe we'll be able to like share with them what we were able to experience there, and that will make a positive vision of 50 years later in Nanmoku village. So
I see. That's wonderful.
That's about it, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much. Have any questions right now? Okay, let's go into the breakout sessions then. And during the breakout sessions, you can ask them, if you have some questions about Nanmoku village, such as why did they, in the first place, go there? How did you find this place in the first place? And what's going on and so forth. Okay, what I would like you to do is it's your turn to join, to participate. We have like 6 or 7 tables, and we have about 25 people or so, or a little less than 30 people. And so you can take your chair to any one of these tables, and 3 or 4 teams on this side work on how do you make your 4th place. Any ideas? And that's the place where you can relax, or you can be yourself. And this half, we would like you to think about how Nanmoku village or Nanmoku Mura can attract people to come in much bigger number and stay there, right? Do they need to stay, or can they come and go?
I think it could be both ways.
Okay.
If they want to come and go.
Okay. But at least they want to recruit more people. They want more people to come over. So what are the ways? You can do that. Is it clear? More or less. So those who want to figure out the 4th place, how to make the 4th place, go to this end. Those who want to figure out how to make Nanmoku Mura known to more people and have more exposure so that more people come to appreciate and to experience the nature and this way of living, go to this side. Ready? Okay, go.